She was not born like this. She used to have parents too. So much has happened to the life of this young orphan, from the little tender infancy to the woman she has grown into. This opposite student had lost her father a few years before she got involved in an accident with her mother that left her in this condition when she was still a child. She has since then been living in this orphanage in Mile 15 in Boya.
Tell me how many people wish they were someone else, someone that thinks the world wants them to be. Tell me how many babies will be born just to die, leaving me with these questions asking why.
I was actually not knowing the right date, class 4, when my father died. After the funeral and everything, it was about on the 9th of April 2003. My mother and I went to the farm. When my mother went first, so I decided to go meet her. After we finished the work, on our way back, there was a little bit rain and there was storm. So a palm tree uprooted and fell. So due to the shock, I fell on my own side and my mother fell on the other side. But I only discovered myself in the hospital when my leg had been amputated. And from there, after a long while, we came back home. I was unable to go to school. I was unable to play with friends because I was somebody who liked to play around, meet friends and all the like. But due to the condition where I found myself, I could not do all those things that my friends were doing. I had to stay at home, watching them going to school. It was a sad moment for me.
She has come with terms with the reality of her situation. She is conscious of the fact that she is not a normal child like those out there playing. For this reason, she has not relented with any opportunity that has passed her way.
And after a long while, I came in contact with one pastor, Pastor Bison David, who later brought me here at Hotpec Orphanage. That was on the 4th of March. And he brought me here, that was 4th of March. 2005 when I came to Hotpec Orphanage, and I attended the primary school on the 2007. I had my first school, and I attended my secondary school part at JS Bolifamba, my 16. Then when I died, because he traveled, so when he came, he said he needed to put us in a better school where we could acquire a good education and we can acquire something good. So he enrolled us at St. Therese Bilingual Comprehensive College at Moliko. And after a year, I went to Impastico where I had my ordinary level. And presently now I'm going into the advanced level.
Despite the fact that this orphan goes about her duties actively, daily, with a smiling face, deep in her mind's eyes, the pains of her life have never left her.
I feel very bad because I'm somebody who is very sociable. I like to interact with people. There are so many things that I like to do that at this my condition, I'm unable to do it. And whenever I sit at my quiet place, I always think of the past. I always like regretting why I had to go to the farm that day, and so many things go through my mind that I will always cry. And
for the time she has spent in her new home, the orphanage, she has now found a new family. Kids from all other places with their own stories, even worse than hers.
At the orphanage, since most of us know each other's situation and we've decided to accept it and look up to God, so we now, the children in the orphanage, we are like brothers and sisters to each other, and we always try to see that others are happy, likewise we are happy, and we have been engaging ourselves in many other activities that make us happy, trying to see that we develop our talent, because our parents in the orphanage have been telling us of our talent, and we've discovered the gift of God in our life, and through the gift, whenever we are using our gift, we are very happy.
At the orphanage, she and the other orphans have been provided with a new home, with much love, care, and concern. It is also because of another hard situation in life like that she has faced that prompted the creation of this facility, this orphanage that has now brought in more than 100 new orphans to come and live together. Today, the idea of being an orphan is not just the dictionary definition of the word, which puts an orphan as a child who has no parents. If you visit the orphanages and hear the history of some of these orphans, you will get to see the new reality of children who have been rescued from child trafficking and cannot trace their origins, or other even more complex situations like mothers abandoning their babies to the rescue of some good Samaritans who later on bring them to the orphanages.
Yes, we get children from the Ministry of Social Affairs, the Regional Delegation of Social Affairs. They bring children here. The judiciary, the State Council of Bureaucratic, brings children here, children who are child trafficking victims. Babies 2 weeks old, we have even Nigerians here, babies that were trafficked from Nigeria and they were caught and they come and they brought them. Even the second to the last youngest baby is from Nigeria. Her name is Etel. She came here 2 weeks old. And there's another one, Fortune, who is 1 year 9 months. And she came here at the age of 3 weeks. So, and then some good Samaritan, when they bring, they say, I am a good Samaritan. I just saw this child and I picked the child. Some hospitals like Bingo and X in Mutengene do bring children, and some other private hospitals, girls go, they give birth and they disappear.
There are many reasons why women abandon their children nowadays. It is sad to know that some even give birth and disappear from the hospital, while some carry the children out of the hospital and abandon them in public places for somebody to pick up.
I know that some of these children are being abandoned not from the real heart of the people who abandoned them. Some are generational curses following histories and the children become victims. Some are mismanagement and mishandling of their lives. If you don't handle your life well, you fall a victim of becoming pregnant, underage, and then when you give birth or during the pregnancy, the boys don't take care, and then maybe the girl now did not fit well, and then went to and did not follow antenatal, and then at the end you have to give birth and you lose blood. The mother won't give birth, and the child remains like that.
Another category of cases at this orphanage are children brought by their own parents because they were not able to take care of them.
We found a child inside the orphanage in an old car at 10 p.m. in the night. One of the workers was going around to check the children whether they are all on bed, because they used to have prep classes then before they go to bed after prayers. So he heard a baby crying in the car, 4 months old baby, as the hospital dictated. So I believe they know that child is here. The person who came and kept the child knows. But we went to the police, went to the hospital, we kept the child on, and the child is in pre-nursery now. What am I saying is that sometimes if it comes to the worst that a girl is desperate, we can take the child and help the girl. Because if the girl leaves, it is profitable for the child. She'll be able to bring the child closer, and the child will be able to live in a single family. That will be the love for that child will not be shared like what we are doing here, because we share the love we have for all of them. It's not easy. We had a girl who was infected with HIV/AIDS during pregnant. She was pregnant, gave birth to the child, and then she could not take care. The baby was 1 month, not up to 1 month, between 2 weeks old like that. So she wanted to go and have it herself. Somebody took her and brought to us. And then she said she wants to keep the baby here with us and go and die. So we told her, we will not take the baby and leave. We will take you and the baby. We will take care of you while you are taking care of your baby. And then we will follow you up treatment and all that. And the girl is living. Beautiful baby girl. Finally, the child is free of HIV. The child had it because of the mother's immune system, but as we follow up in the hospital, we go and next, the child now is free. Though the mother have it, but we are helping to control. You see, if we allow that girl, she would have gone and killed herself, and the baby now will just be like that. Even though we are there for the child, but the child will not have that real intimacy of her own mother.
With the coming of HIV and AIDS, orphans have also increased. The children of HIV and AIDS carriers were hardly infected with the new medical procedures, and before the introduction of antiretrovirals, many people died leaving orphans.
Tell me how
It is very difficult for children who are abandoned and picked up for the orphanages to have a history. Some grow up to men and live lives even without knowing where they come from, but others who are identified at their tender ages get to know their history kept for them by the orphanage registrar.
So all the children have their stories and they have their files. When they come, we admit them, why they are here, who came with them, and all that, and then we report to social affairs.
It's even worse when time comes for them to do a birth certificate, especially those whose parents were never identified. The majority of these very young children in this orphanage don't have birth certificates, and those who have only do when they want to write the first school leaving certificate.
Here in 2006, the governor that was the Southwest region at that time helped us to establish 9 birth certificates, because when the children comes to get the history, the rights is to whoever brings, even if the parents are of needs, to get their names and all that, and tribes and all that. So when we use this information, we use it to make it their birth certificate. And then now, most of the children have birth certificate through social affairs and the judiciary. We get inquiry, we try to trace from families, from their former environments, and quite a number of them are not having birth certificate now. And those younger ones, they don't have birth certificate, but we know by the time they reach class 5, we need to do it. We need to find how to get the information for the birth certificate, because the social affairs are always there to help us make sure the children have birth certificate because it's their right and they need it to come and transfer first school.
When these orphans grow old, especially the female, and want to get married, another problem falls in. Who stands as their parents and who collects the traditional bride price by the customs of what people?
The girl child. We have some girls who are married. You know, those ones you cannot press them down, because if you press them down, they are going to use other means which will not be good. So we know that when they reach at a ripe age to get married, even if they have not got a job, even if they have not gone to university, we give their hand in marriage. And when we give their hand in marriage, we trace their roots. We don't take bride price here, because we know that sometimes curses are being connected through those things. So we trace their roots. Sometimes there was a time one of them got married in Manfe to go to virtual time for my first time, and we traced one of the aunts that was still living, and we had to pay the bride price to them. And in any other case that there will be no trace, we will go to the tribe or to the village and get the chief to be involved in taking the bride price.
Some of the orphans of the Hotpeck orphanage have grown to forget their past and build on a new present and even a better future.
Our desire is that the children should reach a point where they can be able to look for jobs, because a normal parent, you will not just throw out your child at a certain age until you see that that child is capable of taking care. If not, all the care that we have been taking from small to the way they are, we will not have any profit by them having been established. So it is our desire that they reach somewhere where they can look for jobs. Like those who have completed university, they are putting applications. It is our joy, because tomorrow there will also be those who will help even the other children who will be here, because as days are passing we are getting tired. It's not easy. So that is our desire. So when they reach those ages that can get jobs, we release them.
As nature will show it, some of these kids have hardly even known what is happening to them. Some have become stubborn, some have even been laid out as street children, some armed robbers, some the pure delinquent in the society. That case is for children who are not accepted by an orphanage for one reason or the other.
Actually, we used to keep their stories confined because of the stigma. We didn't want them to have any stigma of the past. We were looking forward that at least at a certain age where they can bear their situation, because their situations are very sad, many of them. So we're thinking that we'll let the cat out of the bag when they'll be able to bear the situation and forget about it and take it as nothing and keep going. But just of recent, we had to disclose the history of 4 boys, but they were very stubborn, very, very stubborn. So when we started calling them one after the other and telling them their story, they wept, they cried, I said, people are behaving like this because they don't know where you're coming from. You are stubborn, you don't know where you're coming from. Some of you don't even have any trace of any family.
The Hotpeck orphanage in Mile 15 Boya, which is one of the orphanages we have the privilege to visit as we run along with this documentary, has existed for years and also improved the lives of orphans. Today they are proud of even a school they have built for orphans alongside their partners and many other social amenities.
The projects we've tried to carry out the primary school in addition to the orphanage, and Maves Foundation really supported us in that to construct the primary school. Then we've also gone with the vocational college, and the Green Step supported us in that also. And then we've gone with the bakery, and we have CCA and Hope Foundation. They also support us in that. Then we also have a biogas which has been supported by Emmanuel Sonje, who is of late, and also then we have farming aspect also.
There are many people and organizations who support orphans in Cameroon. Some are Cameroonians, especially in the diaspora, who want to give back home. The Agatha Foundation in the USA is an example of this idea. Every now and then, they make sure they have to extend a helping hand to the orphans of Cameroon. Today, they have come to visit the orphans of the Hot Peck Orphanage.
Why do we have to grow to
Many other people, even non-Cameroonians, have sought also to bring a smile to the faces of these orphans. We met with this German lady who has just donated this home for babies to the orphan babies of this orphanage.
My name is Heine Ramminger. I'm from Germany, and I was traveling around Africa before I retired, and I saw so many children poor, and so I was thinking, if I retired, I want to go to Africa for 1 year to help. And I have a friend. She is married with a Cameroonian man, and they inform me about Hot Peck and inform me about Cameroon. So I make the contact with Hot Peck, and so I came here, and now this is 2 years ago. If I first came here to Hot Peck, and yeah, I came here and I saw so many things. It is necessary to change, and I was started to collect money in Germany with from my friends, and newspapers make interviews and help me to collect money. So we start here to build a bigger baby unit, and yeah, 2 weeks ago we had the inauguration, and yeah, I'm very happy. And yeah, I think there are many things more to change. So my next project will be a new school bus, and also to change the dormitories for the girls and for the boys. It's very, very necessary. Yeah, it's very important to change the rooms for the boys and also for the girls. This is my next project.
There are many children out there who have been blessed with all they need. Some need to know the stories of other children who are just their ways.
From our own part, what I would tell them is that since nobody can predict the future, and if God has given them the opportunity that they are beside their parents and people who could talk to them on the right way to go, I think it is them to sit down and go through their life and see how they can make a better, they can be useful tomorrow. Because there's a saying that the children are the leaders of tomorrow. If us, we have the privilege now that God has raised somebody to take care of us, and due to our situation, we've decided to keep it back to look up to the future. They have all the opportunity and all the necessity, all the facilities for them to do it. I think it is high time for them to sit down and look into it, because some of those behavior of that will help them in no way. Because also for the children of hot peg, they have been brought up morally, they are morally sound, and they have been, when they go to places, they find so many favor. I think if they can humble themselves and develop a new character in them, the world out there will receive them with open arms.
Tell me how many women childhood dreams come to pass. Tell me how many movies turn out real. There are so many questions I like to ask, so you can understand exactly how I feel. Tell me